The 9th largest jackpot in Powerball history is at stake, and it may feel like a 1 in a million chance to win. But in fact, your odds are much smaller than that.
For Powerball, it's around 1 in 292,200,000, which is slightly lower than the probability of being hit by the lightning.
According to Dr. Vahid Beyzadan, assistant professor of computer and data science, when the jackpot goes up, your odds actually remain the same.
The numbers that you choose on a ticket are completely independent of what anyone else may choose on their lottery ticket. So your chances of winning are the same as everyone else's chances of winning.
But it's not impossible to win, whether it's your first time buying one ticket or a more frequent player buying multiple.
Buying lottery tickets frequently doesn't really affect your chances because the assumption is that each lottery draw is independent of previous lottery draws. And the fact that certain numbers occur more often doesn't necessarily mean that they have predictive power.
So pick your numbers wisely and don't stress too much about the location.
It doesn't really depend on where you're located or where you buy the ticket.
Here in Connecticut, there have been some significant winners in the past. Back in April of 2020, a Hamden Shell station sold a $2.2 million ticket. The year before that, in November of 2019, a Stop and Shop in Danbury sold a $25 million ticket. And in January of 2018, someone in Fairfield won $1.7 million. Even with the small probability, it's enough to get folks thinking about what they would do with the money.
Pay my taxes.
Give it to my kids.
Good luck. I'm Rachel Piscatelli, Fox 61 News.
That is a fascinating analysis, and
a lot of zeros.
that guy's very smart, very, very smart.